Spoiler alert, if you have not finished watching the full Raising Kanan series, don't watch this video until you do. But for those of you who already have seen it, you can go ahead and watch this video and gain some insights on a fan favorite, Uncle Marvin, which is the character Marvin Thomas, played by the actor London Brown. And London Brown is who I really want to talk about. It seems as though ever since the finale was taped and he knew that his character was going to be eliminated, he's been kind of spiraling in some of the interviews and social media posts that I've seen him make. And I think it has something to do with, according to his IMDb, he doesn't have any other projects lined up and he might be a little bit worried about money. Let's just take a look at a couple of these clips.
How did your cast and crew, how did they celebrate you on your last day on set?
They said, be safe getting home. That was it.
And I know that London Brown is actually a comedian in real life when he's not acting, but I really did think that not only was the full series finale episode, like not only did it seem a bit rushed, but also I thought that the way that they did Marvin's funeral in comparison to Lou's was totally different. Marvin didn't even really have a send-off. So the fact that that's the joke that he told, I'm just saying, maybe it's a lot of truth in jest. But let's listen to the rest of what he had to say. Sounds like he's a little bit worried about money.
Wink, yo, stars. I could let they in the chat. Yo, stars. I like working stars. I like being employed. No, honestly, I want to be I want to be more on the writer side. Because I'm be honest with you, man. Between you and I and everybody in here, like, dude, the first couple episodes, I did a whole lot of improvising, and they kept a lot of that stuff. The writing side is always working. You know what I mean? Right now, humbly, I'm ready. I just want to sit next to whomever's direct. Let me sit next to Joseph. Let me sit next to Joy and Mario Van Peebles and the other directors on the show. And soak up the game. But right now, I always got a punchline or something. But I'm like, man, what? Trust me, before you guys see it, I've already rewritten the scene several times.
So you already know that they're doing a prequel to Power to show Tommy and Ghost as little kids and show how they got started and everything. And they added that in at the tail end of the series finale episode of Raising Kanan. So what London is saying here is, if you've already eliminated the character of Marvin, and I'm not going to be able to be in front of the scenes working on the latest Power show, then let me be behind the scenes or behind the camera or in the writer's room, just to, keep that paycheck going. But I already know of one conflict that they had in the original Power, if we are to believe that Rock and Marvin actually were eliminated in the series finale of Raising Kanan. Let's see how many people remember this.
Kay just got out, man. We got to take care of him.
But listen, I got to get going. I just went to go see my mom's, came straight here.
Now, some may say maybe he meant I went to see my mom's gravesite, but he was also close to his grandmother, and we've seen him in the show go and visit her gravesite alone and talk to her. So wouldn't he have said, I went to go pay my respects to my mom and my grandma versus I went to go see my mom? We saw that all of the family was buried right there together. So because he was responsible for ending his uncles, maybe he didn't want to see them. But for his mom and grandma, I think he would have said both. But also, we didn't actually see Rock or Marvin go into the ground. Keep that in mind. It leaves it open for some sort of plot twist. But the real plot twist is the change in bravado and demeanor and confidence from London Brown himself. Because I remember just in 2024, he was going live and kind of bashing and talking real breezy to the independent women and saying that y'all know y'all want a man and you just need to accept the bare minimum or accept whatever is offered to you if you're of a certain age and a certain status. And I'm kind of wondering why that doesn't apply to you. I see you fighting for what you want and on the internet dry begging the power universe to give you another chance, but women aren't allowed to have standards and speak up for what they want and don't want. So for those of you who don't remember, let me jog your memory. To be clear, the image on the left is one that he created, not me. So in his own social media, he has captioned himself saying, when you're at peace with yourself, being by yourself doesn't feel lonely. Yet, as you know, as modern women continue to try to tell men that they are happier when they don't have to be in these relationships with them because they're so toxic, men are trying to convince women that you're a leftover and you'll never be at peace unless you lower your standards and partner with a man and allow him to mistreat you. Let's get into the videos.
Some of y'all, you already over 35. You got 2-3 kids. You talking about your man cheat, you about to leave. Where you about to go? Single's not bad. Yeah. That's the fairy tale in your mind. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. You don't want to, that's not what you want to do. You're not being honest. Single is cool for about a month or two. After a while, you're going to want to get your back blown out. After a while, you're going to want to have some dinners. After a while, you're going to get tired of just hanging around your girlfriends. After a while, you're going to get tired of every night hanging with your kids and your cats. You're going to get tired. Y'all not being honest. You said no kids, but how old are you? We haven't even gone into looks. We're not talking about if y'all in shape or not. You better consider all of that. Yeah, no kids is one thing, but now we got to consider everything. If we talking about how a man is looking at you. Look, I'm not tearing nobody down. I'm just trying to help y'all to live in the truth. You mess around, get your feelings hurt, living in this fairy tale world. You got to come to the truth. Yeah, there's peace in being single. There's also loneliness. I can't do this with y'all. Y'all not ready to be honest. Okay, I gotta go. Cheat back, that's the most immature thing you could do as a woman. Why would you devalue yourself to call yourself getting back at the man? Why would you do that? I'm not tearing you down. I'm saying because I value the woman, why would you reduce yourself down to his level? That don't even make any sense. Cheat back? You think cheating back? Listen. So you're gonna cheat first and lose a good man? Okay. Do you see how that argument makes no sense? Why would you cheat back? You're gonna add another body to your resume in order to get back at a dude that you don't plan on getting back with? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. And also, if you think you can cheat and not have feelings for another guy, you got one or two things going on. Either you're lying and you do have feelings, or you're dealing with what's called emotional suppression. Lenny, what's emotional suppression? Emotional suppression is when we have, due to trauma and so forth, we have these feelings that has a blockade in front of them. If you're a woman who can sleep around and not feel nothing, get some therapy. Go get some therapy. I know y'all feel like I'm fine, I can do what a man do. You've been hurt. I'm not tearing you down. I'm saying I'm encouraging, go get some help.
You know what? I was getting ready to waste my time going line by line, pointing out all of the idiocy and inconsistencies and stupidity and, just the double talk and double standards. But if you have at least 3 brain cells, I'm sure you caught them. So why don't you just type your favorite one out in the comments for me? Oh, yes, baby. The North still remembers. So while you're having a little gap in your employment right now, instead of just doing the podcast that you have with Justin and BT, why don't you start your own Red Pill podcast, since that seems to be where your mind is at? And that way you can have 2 additional streams of income, because we don't need you for acting or for comedy, because we have Lou Young and B. Lynn to handle that for us. And I'm going to leave you all with this hilarious clip.
You talk to Juke? Juke, no?
Sure at Kanan's house right now, telling him. You want to talk to him too. It had to be Neek.
I think it's Neek, Marv.
The way he thumped Lou, like it was a piece of sesame salami type.
No bun. Dry.
No cheese, no lettuce.
No wrap.
Definitely wasn't a Subway Eat It Fresh.
Sandwich only.
No chips,
No cookies.
no dip.
No vinegar. No pepper. Straight dry, Marv.
Couldn't even get my hummus. No rock you. You taking this awfully well.
I been crying, Marv. And I cried. I cried, Marv. Marv, when you cry, I cry. We cry. Together.
Yeah, but you ain't cry me a river. You ain't cry me a river, Rock. So you can go on and just
Cry me a river. Oh.
So as you can see, we already have other actors and comedians. So instead of you doing what you want to do in life, you just have to accept that there's other people that are better than you, and we're gonna rate and rank you, and you just need to accept whatever little role you can get. Isn't that how you want women to live their lives? Now, I really don't have any beef with London. In fact, I'm really kind of worried about him, because one of his last social media posts was basically him begging the fans to give Marvin the funeral that he should have had on the show. He wants the fans to do that at home to keep the memory of his character alive. But like I said, he's an actor and a comedian, so I'm sure that he's just acting and joking. I wish him all the best, but take a look at this last clip.
Yo. It's Lyndon Brown, aka Uncle Marvin from Raising Kanan. We on the season finale. I know some of y'all are disappointed with all of that because you've been rocking with us since the first season. Some of y'all been rocking with Marvin since the first season. You've been a fan. You've been rocking. We've been holding him down. You've been speaking on his behalf since the first season. Not everybody. No, not everybody. But some of y'all been having Marvin's back from the jump. So I understand how it hurt your heart last week to see how Marvin went out last week. But he went out like a G. Tonight, you on the season finale, man. I want you in your all black to hold down Uncle Marvin. Put on your Black Sunday's best, your gloves, your ski mask. Whatever you got to do to represent holding Marvin down, because you've been rocking with him since season 1. You already know. You saw the potential in Marvin early on. You saw the good side of him. You already knew he could get the job done when everybody else was sleeping on Marvin. You was one of the ones. You believed in Marvin when he went to therapy, started teaching everybody how to breathe. You had his back. When Rock kicked him out the group, you had his back. When everybody turned on him, you had his back. Because you know Marvin was a real one. So when you watch the episode tonight, man, you make sure you put on your all black. I want your real responses, real reactions in real time, man. You make sure your phone is on. Capture the moments, man. You collab me to those videos. I'm going to post a few of them. I can't post everybody, but I'm going to post a few of them. The ones who came from the heart and said something on behalf of Marvin. What you would have said if you was there. If you had to speak up and they asked you to speak because you felt like you was connected and Marvin touched you in your heart in a real way, what would you have said?
Your cast and crew, how did they celebrate you on your last day on set?
They said, be safe getting home. That was it.